Hello, and welcome to another Velvet Revolution. Um, I believe I want to say episode 22, but I'm happy to be corrected. As ever, with myself, Ben Rice, and my co-pilot, Dave Noble. How you doing, Dave?
Like that co-pilot. I'm doing all right. No, I'm not. Am I doing all right? Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm okay. I've got a lot of mixed bag of emotion today. Um, and yeah, I guess I'll just check in with it, right? That's what we
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
So, there's sadness in me.
Okay.
There's some sadness, but I'm not sure if it's a finite sadness for what I'm sad for, if that makes sense. Very cryptic. So
Okay.
there's a bunch of where I live now. I've got my formative years. I always talk about my formative years on here.
Mm-hmm.
And there's certain people from my formative years that I've remained in contact with, and I speak to them, when we speak, and it's really lovely to have that contact still. And then there's some characters that have kind of there's one person in particular that's gone missing in action.
Right.
Yeah, literally, we're trying to find out. It's like Animal Chin in the skateboard film. I don't know. You're not a skater. You don't know what I'm talking about. Any skateboarders out there will know what I'm talking about. The search for Animal Chin. Anyway, there's this like mythical character that they're trying to find in this skateboard movie. Anyway, it's a bit geeky what I'm talking about. You're a skater. It's cool as fuck. Anyway, so we're trying to locate and find our beloved old buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I write about him. It's Bumble.
Mm-hmm.
I've changed the name, but in the book I write about, my formative years. He's in it. He's a big part of it. Of my formative years, huge big part of it. And we became estranged. You know, I went one way, he went the other.
Yep.
But we're like brothers, man. And so I'm talking to a few homies. So a lot of my old life is coming back in, and that's okay. I feel like
Yep.
I've because of the process I've been through. I had to sort of, I don't know if anyone can relate to this, anyone listening, and anyone's ever had to do this, but when you're going through a process of peeling away certain layers that don't serve you anymore, maybe sometimes that is people, certainly places and certainly things, people, places, and things that maybe
Mm-hmm.
just hold us back. And that's not to say that's an individual, it's anyone's fault, or there's no blame, no shame. It's just sometimes when you need to do a metamorphosis and you know be the butterfly and come out that hard shell exterior of the caterpillar. Is that right, what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think chrysalis. I think
Chrysalis, yeah.
is the word.
Sometimes you've just got to, fly the nest, literally. You've got to just, that was my experience anyway. So, but now I'm in this real sort of weird place of a lot of stuff's coming up for me. And, you know, did I fly too far? Did I,
Mm.
all of that kind of stuff, so that's why I feel quite, yeah, a little bit, yeah, a
Yeah.
bit out of sorts at the minute. Um, so I've got my window open and um there's the plane coming over from the islands offshore and it comes right across my house. So I don't know if anyone's going to hear this on the background noise, but if you can hear the plane. Um, so uh yeah, there's that. But other than that, I guess everything's pretty all right. I mean, I've got nothing to really shout about
Yeah.
today that I can think of. That was the main thing I felt I needed to check in with.
Do
Mm.
you I often think this, like, because I met up with a friend last year and I hadn't seen her for years, like literally years and years. And we connected and again, and we sort of met for coffee, and I remember saying to her, like, it's really weird meeting up again. And she said, she'd been a childhood friend. She'd literally the week before she'd been thinking about me and my sister, And it was like, she said, and then you contacted me. She said, it was just really weird. And I just sometimes, I often think that these people come in and out of our lives at certain points. Again, this might be a bit woo woo for people, but I definitely think there's always a reason.
Oh, yeah.
There's a
Mm,
something, yeah,
mhm.
something has triggered, or something in the cosmos has decided that you need to, these people need to be thought about again or seen again.
Yeah. There's definitely something in this, 100% synchronicity. I'm a big
Mm,
believer of that. Yeah, absolutely. Is it coincidence or what's in it? Let's investigate, you know? If you keep having these things happen, do you just pass it off as, oh, you know, it's just coincidence? Or is it like a neon light that's, you know, flashing at you going, you know, look over here, look at this. You need to look at this. So I'm a big fan of that. Definitely what you just said.
mm,
And it's also, yeah, one of those synchronicities was I had another different person from the same era get in contact me on Monday
yeah,
earlier in the week. You know, so it is definitely a lot of neon lights that are flashing saying, Dave, you know, you're needed over here.
yeah, yeah,
And I don't know what reason it is, but I know I've got to pay attention to that and at least be curious.
yeah,
And see what's in it.
yeah, yeah,
And whatever however that looks and whatever that means, I don't know yet. More will be revealed, as they say. So I'm making a few phone calls today to because I'm really intent and keen to find out what's happened to our beloved brother. Is he a fallen brother? I mean, there's starting to be some some thoughts and exchanges of ideas of what could have happened, you know,
mm,
and that he's not actually with us anymore, and he's got a son and everything, and we're just trying to figure out, you know, how does someone drop off the map
yeah, yeah,
without anyone knowing about it? But it does happen.
yeah.
Anyway, sorry, this all sounds very. I don't know if it sounds a bit dark for the beginning of an episode, but let's.
No, it's where you're at the moment. And
Yeah.
as you said, I think, yeah, as we both said, it's about, there's a reason, but we don't know quite what that reason is yet. So
Mm,
all will be
yeah.
revealed.
And I'm the sort of person. I mean, when I was little, cricket was a big thing of my childhood. My granddad lived next to a cricket field. My dad played cricket. I played cricket, you know,
Did
and my
you?
brother cricket. Yeah,
I never knew this. I never knew
yeah,
this.
I was pretty nifty. Left hand
Really?
bowler, yeah, about medium pace. I normally went in. I think I didn't open with batting, but I went in about third, fourth.
Oh, quite handy then.
I was pretty good, man. Yeah,
Mm,
I do believe I was the captain of the cricket team
there
at
you go.
school. Yeah, I was I was pretty nifty. But um what was I saying that? Oh yeah, so because because when I was little and we used to watch cricket, when someone hit a four or a six and the ball went straight into the bushes or, you know, into the shrubbery,
Hmm.
um, you know, I'd find all sorts of things in there
Okay.
and I'd always find a ball. Yeah, you'd find like, you know, someone having a snooze, you'd find a shopping trolley, a bag full of porn, you know, that 1980s porn that we talked
Yep.
about before. What else would I find in them bushes? Find anything you like in there if you have a
Yeah.
rummage around.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But I'd always find the ball. So my point is that when I home in on something and I need to find something, I'll you know, I'm very like when I lock in and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
won't stop until it's done.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, how are you?
How am I? I'm okay. It's been another ridiculous week. Uh, so I had so basically this wound I have has to be packed on a daily basis, which I think I've explained before. But basically, I have to go to a nurse appointment on a daily basis to get it packed, and they pack it with this like centimeter long ribbon. And basically, all they can, in terms of it healing, it's about how much of this packing they get in. So at the start, I had like 80 centimeters of packing in this wound. And then today it was 20.
80
So
centimeters. That's just shy of a meter. Am
yeah,
I?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It's like a meter,
Of this centimeter long sort of ribbon, and it soaks up all the bad
and
stuff.
they stuff it in like they're stuffing
Yeah,
like a magician stuffs a handkerchief into his
that is
hand.
that's exactly.
That's the image I've got. Look, you can see what I'm doing. No one else can see what I'm doing, but I'm literally
I don't
fingering.
think anyone else needs to see that.
I'm fingering my fist here
Yep,
like a magician fingers the handkerchief into his clenched fist.
yep,
That's your wound.
yep.
And
That's
they're
exactly what it
stuffing
is.
80 centimeters of ribbon in it.
Yep.
What an image.
What an image.
What a fucking image.
So on a daily
Um,
basis, I go down to my local surgery, and the nurses there are amazing, and they're doing this job. And on a Sunday, their surgery's closed, so I have to go to the local hospital,
mm.
and I have to queue at the urgent care centre, which can be anything from 20 minutes to 3 hours. And so on Sunday, I went, and this nurse, and this is going to make me sound really old because she looked about 12, bless her.
So she
She
was like 42.
probably, yeah. And she packed the wound and she said, "Oh, I've only got 12 centimeters in there." I was like, "Okay, fair enough." And then I went back to the surgery, my regular nurse on the Monday, and she's like, "Well, she took the dressing off. She's like, "Where's the packaging?" I was like, "What?" She goes, "I can't find any packing anywhere." I was like, "What do you mean?" She said, "It's just disappeared." So I can tell from the way they've been very worried all week, and she's been getting other people in, like the doctor and other nurses, to have a look. They think the packing's inside, it's fallen inside the hole. But because the hole is so small, like you beautifully demonstrated with your fist, they can't see in. So, yeah, they are worried now that I have this packing, this 12 centimeters of packing has sort of disappeared inside my wound,
So they've
never to be
removed
seen again.
so they've removed like your rat's tail,
Yeah.
right? And now you've replaced it. So I reckon your arse is taken on like it's become an entity of its own, and
I,
it's eating. It's like gobbling up the ribbon. Anything that's put in it, it's consuming.
yeah, it's like some sort of black hole, amorphous black hole. It's just
Oh my
ba-
God.
basically the end of the universe is coming, and
Yeah,
it's basically all going to be sucked in to this strange little hole that now exists at the top of my backside.
the vortex. Are you writing about this? This is all for your book.
This is all for the book, yeah. For the yeah,
You could create a stage show, like like the Rocky. What's it? The Rocky Horror.
Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yeah, yeah. I don't know quite where it's going, but I'm just getting to the point now. The last couple of weeks have been really frustrated, and then this week I'm
Yeah.
just
Just get
bemused,
just
just
keeps getting
absolutely.
it keeps getting more and more abstract. I
Yeah.
mean, you could literally write a horror film around
Mm,
your
yeah.
arse wound.
Yeah, watched a really good Japanese horror film last week. Something was it called The Grudge or The Curse?
Mm.
Yeah, really
I,
freaky.
I've heard of films like that, but I just stay away, man. But I
Yeah,
would watch if you made.
I
I would watch your one.
yeah. Ben's the curse of the black hole.
I think we should co-write a movie
Yeah.
about your arse wound. I don't know. I like the fact that we can laugh at it,
Yeah.
that you can laugh at it.
I'm just trying to think how this character would, because they'd have to expand. It'd be like Mr. Creosote, wouldn't it, from Monty Python? Like if you were sucking, this black hole was sucking in the world, it'd get to a point where you just explode.
Yeah, it implode on itself and spit out. It would just
Yeah.
like everything that it's consumed over the last year will just fly out of your yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh
lots of imagery
no.
coming through. So
So
yes, that's where I'm at this week.
God, so you're edging closer because we're on letter U, right?
Mm,
We're edging closer to the XYZs, and you know what's going to happen.
well, yeah.
It's going to be nappy time.
There's no actual need for a nappy anymore. That's the only difference. I guess that's what I'm a bit relaxed now by the XYZ because there's not a lot coming out of this tiny hole. It's what's going in now. It's I'm
Oh
worried about.
God,
Might
God,
need to have some sort of defensive force field around me to stop.
yeah. Be pretty good back in the old rave days, you know, the old clubbing days when you need to do a little stash, you know.
Well, someone did say this. Why don't you just keep a cavity and then you'll be an amazing drug mule and you can just
Oh my God, no,
because you'll have a cavity in your backside that you could fill
no,
and then
because
no one would find the thing.
no, because it'll gobble it all up and then you'll
Mm,
die from an overdose. So it
yeah,
can't be
yeah.
that. Oh no. Well, you seem pretty upbeat, in good spirits.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I'm
It
happy
is
for
what
that.
it is. It is what it is.
And you've given me a little bit of a chuckle and a grin when I was feeling that there was a lot of sadness in me before I got on the call. Now the sadness is still residually floating around somewhere, but I don't feel it so much now. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay then.
I believe today, what did we do last? Ungrateful. Yeah, last
We
week was a random pick, and I picked basically a word we've done before, but with a un in front of it.
yeah,
So we're on V.
we are. And before we get into it, V. Oh yeah, because it was you,
Yeah.
ungratefulness. Yeah, sorry, yeah, it's from V. Before we get going, I need to just do a shout out
Yeah.
quickly. And I don't know if we're meant to, we've not done this before, have we? I don't know. But um someone got in touch. Hello, hello, Charlotte. Charlotte Musto.
Hmm.
Right. And Charlotte got in touch and had listened, having listened to the episode Loneliness, which is a little while back, isn't it?
Yep.
Um, she felt compelled to sling us, I always use that word, sling us some thoughts. And a little I'm gonna read it. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Right, listening to TVR Loneliness, and it jogged a memory of some arty work I did many years ago. So I dug it out. And it is, there's no way for anyone to see it, but I'm gonna try and describe it. It is um a pretty cool, it's like monochrome, black and white imagery, and it's like of this young girl. I'm presuming that, well, I'm not going to presume anything. Is that Charlotte or not? I don't know. I'm trying to. Anyway, it says "lone" in capital letters, Lone dash Ly, lonely, and then adjective, lonely, lonely est, and it's got examples: without companions, lone, characterized by aloneness, solitary, unfrequented by people, desolate. It's a good word. Dejected by the awareness of being alone, producing such dejection. This is all handwritten, like proper,
Hmm.
you know, pretty cool. It's like really thought out, you know. And then there's a second bit, and it's a young girl in this sort of like dress that's overflowing, like quite big for hands up. It's all really kind of cool. It's like this is all photographs. Don't know what these who this is actually of, but
Hmm.
they're really cool photos. And again, under this one, it says in capital letters, despair, DE hyphen SPAIR, despair. Um, introverted, does that say? It despaired, despairing, despairs, to lose all hope, to be overcome by a sense of futility or defeat, um, complete loss of hope, one despaired or causing despair. That's kind of it, man. And that's really beautiful. So, Charlotte, thank you for taking the time to do that. It means a lot I can only speak for myself. It means a lot to me that you've
Mm.
taken the time to actually dig that out. And that's an old it says on the following message, it says, I think I was playing around with suggestions of emotion. Anyway, I'm still enjoying TVR. Keep up the good work. There we go. So, Charlotte, thank you. Just thought I'd
Yeah, no, that's beautiful.
give you a
Thank you for
shout
that.
out. Yeah.
It's poetic and yeah. Oh, you send me the images. They're really beautiful images. Yeah, really
Yeah.
nice.
So it's I'm glad that, you know, this is what it's all about. We want people to it's reflection, contemplation, you know. if you've got anything that you can relate to, anything like that, it's really great. We got an email address, join us at thevelvetrevolutionpod.com. We will be well happy to receive anything, even hate mail. I'll read that out. I don't mind reading hate mail. I'll read that out, man. Definitely. Any thoughts, feelings, emotions, artwork, anything, man.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, bring it on.
Marriage proposals. I'm joking. I'm joking. Okay, right. So, what letter are we on? V.
V,
Okay,
velvet.
velvet. VVV. So you did say to me to get list up, but I'm still looking for it. Right. Okay, I've got it. I've got it. I've got it. Okay. So let's have a look. Right, V. Right on. Okay. Have you looked at it? Have you got list up?
No, I've made a
Oh,
point of not looking.
oh, there's two columns. Right. Okay. Ready?
Go.
All right then. Vain.
Mm-hmm.
That could mean to die in vain,
Yeah.
or he didn't.
You're so vain, you probably think this song is about you.
Yeah, that.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. That's got to go on a playlist.
If we choose it.
Yeah. Vulgar,
Mm-hmm.
vicious, violent, vicarious. Do you know what vicarious means?
Is it kind of being living life vicariously is like just
On the
seeing what
edge.
happens
On
or
the edge.
just yeah.
Flighty, flighty.
Yeah.
I can look that up in the book of words, not sure. Vengeful, vengeful. Ooh. Virtue. Violate. Vindictive. Vulnerable. Victimize and vanity. Ah.
I don't know about the sound of the letter. And I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is violent. And I don't know. You know, like some sounds in the English language just sound more uh, aggressive, more
And,
violent
vi-
than others.
and
I
violent
think,
does sound like what it's saying.
yeah, that V has a real.
Violent, yeah.
Hmm.
Are you trying to mind fuck me into choosing violent?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Because
But then also velvet sounds soft, doesn't
I
it?
will not be coerced.
No.
Vain, vulgar, vicious, violent, vicarious. I'm going to choose vicarious because I don't know what it means.
Okay. That's gonna
So,
gonna make for an interesting
so
conversation.
yeah, I'm going to go vicarious. So, do you want me to look it up?
Yes, please,
Look a
because
word.
I'm not confident that I know exactly what it means.
So, what did you think it means?
I think it means just sort of living life, uh, just minute by minute. Is that right? And just seeing what happens.
By the seat of your pants, as they say.
Yeah, living vicariously.
Why does that, what that saying, please explain that saying to me, by the seat of your pants. Why do we say that?
I've got no idea. Absolutely no idea. Living by the seat of your pants.
Can you look it up?
Can I look that up? There's could be
Um,
a moment of like just us looking stuff up.
no, because I've nearly got vicarious.
Living by the seat of your pants.
Vicarious, right. Whilst you're doing that, have you got it yet?
Okay, yeah.
I'll
So
read it. Yeah.
living by the seat of your pants means to act or proceed with a task or situation based on your instincts, intuition, and experience. The phrase originates from early days of aviation when pilots had limited navigational aids and relied heavily on their senses and physical feel of the aircraft to navigate and control the plane. The seat of the pants referred to the pilot's primary point of contact with the aircraft, where they could feel the plane's movements and reactions.
Mm,
Back to the arse again, really, aren't we?
yeah. And I was going to bring into that by the seat of the pants. If you're on an aircraft in combat, is that in combat? Are they talking about?
I guess so. I mean,
Yeah.
that tends to be where most innovation happens, isn't it?
I mean,
No.
I won't go where I was going to go. I was going to get really, no, we don't need to go there. Okay, right. So, vicarious, experienced in the imagination after what? Hang on. Experienced in the imagination after watching or reading about another person's actions or feelings. Excitement. vicarious excitement. Now, Latin, vicarious, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Vicarious, yeah, Latin, substitute. I'm really confused. I'm not really vibing that. Is there
In
any
a way that is experienced in the imagination for the actions of another person, she was living vicariously through her children. So it's not about, it's about you living through someone else. So someone has their kids and they go, yeah. So when you meet someone, rather than saying, oh, I've done this and I've done that, they're like, my son's done this and he's been playing football and it's like a competitive dad going,
turbo dad?
yeah,
Yeah.
I failed as a sportsman, but I'm going to make sure my son is the next.
Okay, well, look, we're going with it because
Go on
I've
then.
chosen it.
You've
So
chosen it.
we're stepping into a complete. Um, I'm going to just put my hand up. For what I do with my work, I'm constantly putting myself into a situation by the seat of my pants where I'm
Mhm.
just like, I've just got to rely on my inner knowing,
Yeah.
um, which is very minute in the grand scheme of what I know. I know not a lot because it's beginner's mind, but I
Hmm.
know enough to know that what I do know is that I'll be okay. No matter what I put myself into, it will be all right. It will work out. Trust the process. So I'm going to trust that we can figure out what the hell this can mean to us and that maybe other people. Let's try and figure that out. So vicarious. What does
Me,
it mean to you? You kind of just pretty much laid that out in how you interpreted that.
yeah. I mean, for me, living vicariously, I think again, it comes down to that sense of diminishing the self. So if you don't feel good about your own place in the world, then uh it's about finding someone else that you can be. It's almost like escapism. So you meet people or you put yourself next to people that are doing the things that you want to do because you don't have the confidence or the belief in yourself that you can do them. So it's easier, I guess, to not take the risk and spend your time just sort of pretending to be or being around people that are doing what you want to do. Does that make
So,
sense?
yeah, kind of. I'm trying to get my head around this. Plagiarism
Mm.
is a form of art theft, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
They
What's
say
yes.
that they say art theft, but I mean, isn't all like I'm gonna be bold here. Most well-known artists have probably, you know, been inspired
Yeah.
vicariously to create their own art, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you definitely that's how we, you
Dare I
know,
say it?
it's how you invariably teach people is by showing them someone else's experience.
Yeah, right. So, damn. Okay, so look, something that's come up for me
Go on.
is there's a book, right, that someone put me onto. Don't know if you've heard it. It's called The Top Five Regrets of the Dying.
Okay.
You heard of it?
No.
It's by Bronnie Ware. Bronnie,
Right.
Bronnie, and then her surname Ware, Ware, Bronnie Ware. Now, it is an international bestseller. I haven't read it, but
Okay.
someone told me about it.
Hmm.
So I've just given it a massive big up on here.
Hmm.
Now, from what I know of it, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I've actually got bullet points because someone has the book who I
Hmm.
know, and I just took a little snapshot that I thought I could refer to, especially with my work.
Hmm.
And I can also recommend it to people because I think it's a book that I think it's a really significant book, right? Um, so Bronnie Ware apparently, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe wrong, but from what I know, she used to work with the dying,
Hmm.
right? People that are right at the end of their lives and they were passing away.
Right.
And she collated, that's her data. I always talk about data being like, where's that data coming from? Is it accurate? Well, I'm pretty sure that if she was bedside with these people that are dying and she collated information from them that she has obtained, I'm not talking about their freaking PIN numbers and bank details and all that stuff. Come on, tell us, where's your hidden stash before you die? It's not that, but she's collated like where they're at in where they're at
Hmm.
spiritually, emotionally, mentally. And it says here that she writes of the phenomenal clarity of vision that people gain at the end of their lives and how we might learn from their wisdom.
Hmm.
Okay. Because I've always thought this myself, that at the end of my days when I draw my last breath, if I'm aware that I'm drawing my last breath, I don't know until I'm there whether I'm actually going to go, "Oh, okay, I'm drawing my last breath, I'm about to pass over." Or if it's just a sudden whatever, we don't know. That's for all of us. We don't know.
No.
Or maybe you do. Maybe you've had a vision. But um, but,
Mystical Dave there all of a sudden.
yeah, yeah. Anyway, so it's a book, right? And it's got all of these sort of like things. So look, let me just read. And there's a point to what I'm saying this, right? It's
Hmm.
a real valid point. Okay, regret. There's like the book's broken down into regret one, regret two, regret three, regret four, regret five. So they're sort of like chapters.
Hmm.
And in each regret chapter, regret one has a drop down of different parts, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
So let me just quickly run you through it, right? So regret one. I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself. There you go. That's the first one.
Hmm.
That someone, not just probably one person. This is this is like the billboard.
Hmm.
This is like the top 10. This is top of the pops for dying people,
Yep.
if you can say that.
You just have.
Okay. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It's it's up there with this is the data. Someone has done many years of working with people at the end of their lives and sat with them and their regrets. And
Yeah.
the number one regret is I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself.
Hmm.
Now, does that have relevance to what we're talking about?
I definitely think it
I
does.
bloody hope so, because I've just gone through all of that.
I mean, the first thing that comes into my head is the film The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, which has
I love
got,
that film. That's
I
an
love,
amazing film.
it's a beautiful film. And I just love the way you've got a character there that's completely stuck in the monotony of life and is living vicariously through
I love it. We're
these
getting into it now.
these
Yeah.
fantasies. And there's these, you know, these fantasies have been rescuing people from a burning building, and
Yeah.
he's got all these mad fantasies at the start. But as his life, as it goes on in the film, he just gets to the point where actually he's just actually living a really lovely life. And then the you know the decisions kind of get taken away from him. He kind of gets forced into doing things that he is definitely not comfortable with. And yeah, just a really beautiful film. I love it. I love it. And I just one of those films I'll put on when I'm just feeling like I need a little bit of a pick me up.
Yeah.
Um, and it, I guess going back to, I mean, you just talked about the top five things people, is it they think about or they say when they die?
It's a statement. It's
It's a
like,
statement.
they're this person, like, go and buy the book, man.
Yeah.
And but like I've read it, so I'm just referring to
Yeah.
I've got screenshots here that I'm looking at of the actual book, and I'm just relaying what the actual book is about. And this
Right.
person has worked, in that field, in that line of work, helping people at the end of their lives and when they pass. And
Mm.
this is the information that they've managed to get from it and pass it on. And I think it's a really great thing that they're doing that
Yeah.
because you know, it's a beautiful insight into where people are at the end of their lives and what they're thinking.
I mean, another one that I've heard said, and I don't know where this fits in terms of that book, but no one says at the end of their life, "I wish I'd worked more." And I just think referring back to that idea of Walter Mitty and that being stuck in something that is so mind numbing, and I
Yeah.
do think we are stuck. We are so stuck in this world that we're in of, and we've talked about this before, but this need to be or to have certain things, and to do that, we're willing to sacrifice pretty much everything, and we're not willing to look at different ways of existing and being where maybe we don't need so much, and maybe we do have a more uh, a less consumerist approach to life.
Quantity of life over quality of life.
Quality over quantity is the other way.
No, but no, but I'm
Oh
saying,
yeah, no.
yeah, get with the program.
Okay, yeah,
I'm
yeah. I
joking.
see where you're going there.
So we are living in a, you know, people listening, you know, where you're at. Yeah, you know, what you're saying. Yeah, quality shoulda, coulda, woulda. But for me, I tried the quantity over
Mhm.
quality, and I have it very different now. You know, I always say that quantity is like our secondary purpose in life is the quantity we have in our lives. The primary purpose should be quality of life.
Mm.
That comes really simply. I had them mixed up, so I was chasing what I thought was my primary purpose, which was quantity. The more I have, consume more fucking sex, drugs, rock and roll, toys, gadgets, things, you know, everything. Consume, vacuum, hoover it all up like your bottom.
Yeah, yeah.
For anyone that's just joined us, you need to listen to the beginning of this.
Otherwise, that just sounds wrong. That sounds so wrong. The demon hole.
Right? And just, you know, that black hole void sucking everything out, the life out of everything, just hoovering it all up, right? Oh my God. Get that image out of my head. It's a horror film, I'm telling you, right? Or some mad sort of, we should get what's his name who did all the Life of Brian and Holy Grail, all
Terry Gilliam.
the American guy. Yes, Terry Gilliam. We can see his
Gilliam.
Gilliam. I can see his animations
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
coming to
yeah.
life, and yeah, yeah. Anyway, um,
Have you ever watched Spirited Away?
the
The
what?
Spirited Away. It's a Japanese animation film.
No, no.
Oh, it's beautiful, beautiful film. But there's lots of demons in it. It's like it's sort of she goes into this little girl goes into like this ghost world, and she goes to this bathhouse, this ancient bathhouse, and these demons come in, and she has to sort of clean these demons, and she's pulling at this, like there's this object stuck in this demon, and
We're
she's
talking about are you talking about the film or
yeah,
your
no. So
reading for nerds?
this is what it's making me think of. I
Okay.
love this film. Every time I watch it, you get something different out of it. But he's and she's pulling and pulling at this this object that's stuck in this demon, and it turns out to be a bike. So she's just literally pulling at the handle, and she pulls this bike out, and suddenly all this rubbish, just this massive demon, all this stuff just pulls out, all this rubbish and dirt and different objects that he's sort of collected and hoovered up as he's been going around the world, and then he's just left as this tiny little this tiny little demon once he's washed everything away.
This is what you just described there sounds like what's gonna happen
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you go
yeah,
on a if you don't go bike riding, don't go to Cambridge anytime
yeah.
soon
No,
and get a bike.
I, bikes
Uh,
are a very sore point for me.
This is a premonition.
Yeah,
So
that's another pot. Oh yeah, that's just reminded me actually. That's another thing. My last marriage ended, and she kept my bike. And yeah, so bikes are a bit of a sore point for me because she wouldn't let me have it back.
this has all got to go in your script.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all coming. Yeah, it's
It's
all coming together.
you gotta jot these notes down, man. This is
Yeah.
all formulating.
I've never had a bike since because it's been such a sore point because it was quite a nice bike and I spent quite a lot of money on it.
Well,
I
don't be
never rode
riding.
it. I never rode it, but you
Don't,
know, she kept it and was like, "It's my bike now." And I was like, "Oh, really? I'm not going to get into an argument about this because it's just not worth it."
and it's just collecting dust in the garage, no doubt.
Maybe she is riding it. I hope she is. I hope
Mm.
she is.
Well, don't be riding a bike yourself anytime soon.
No, I won't.
For Christ's sake. So, um,
Sorry, I've totally thrown you off there, haven't
it's
I?
okay. No, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to revert back to the last four regrets, right? So the first one was I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself. So that is kind of like um coming from someone, and it's common. It's the number one regret in the book.
Mhm.
Like it's the first thing that comes up, right? And then under that, it says, "Not the life others expected of me." So I didn't finish it. It's got a comma there. I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. Now, this comes
Yeah.
up a lot in my realm of work. Now, I'm going to be bold here because there might be some parents listening, but I'm going to say anyway. And I might have said this directly to some of the parents if, just saying, if anyone's listening and I've worked with you, um, you might have heard me say this anyway. So I'm going to say it because I am transparent and people that know me know that. Um, a common thing from high achieving people is an expectation or not. It's not, maybe it is an expectation, but it's not,
Mhm.
it's no one's fault. It's no one's fault. Like my father, my dad, my beloved dad, love you, dad, headmaster. He was like you, a head teacher.
Mhm.
Now, I don't know about you, Ben. I'm going to ask you actually. Do you have high because you're ahead of the school?
Mhm.
Your son.
Mhm.
I already know the answer to this, but for anyone listening, where are you at with that? Are you a turbo dad?
Absolutely not. I mean, the only place I probably put some pressure on him, just because I was enjoying it. The time I lived vicariously through my children was my son is an incredible sports person,
Mm-hmm.
and he was just one of those kids. Didn't matter, like you gave him a skateboard or he was scootering when he was there. You know, scooters that all the kids had when he was
Mm-hmm.
6 or 7, and he just was a natural at it. You know, you took him ice skating at Christmas, and he would just be suddenly doing pirouettes and stuff.
Mhm,
And he was just one of those kids. Whatever you gave him, he'd just do it, and he'd just be amazing at it. So the sport he excelled at most though was rugby,
yep,
and so it was an absolute joy for me on a Sunday morning to go and stand amongst all the other dads and watch him just run in try after try after try because he would just be, yeah, he was for a period of couple of seasons he was kind of like unstoppable
mhm,
and would just, yeah, he was quick and he was strong and he was just, yeah. So that was the only place I think I was trying to, yeah, I was encouraging him because but that's also what he loved at that time.
yeah, of course.
And he got to a point where he got to county level, but that was about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And when you saw the kids at county level, you're like, oh my god, there was like another level.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but other than that, I've never put any pressure on him. I remember, I guess the other, but there's an inherent pressure there because I remember before he chose rugby, every kid in the UK, I guess, gets this pressure where they're like, you have to play football. So, there's a pressure on boys, isn't there, to be into football.
Or
Um,
netball, or netball.
all netball if you're girls, but I mean, also now,
No,
obviously,
or
or netball. Okay.
we used to have a dude at my school, primary school, who wouldn't play football with us. He wanted to play netball,
Oh, cool. Well, I
and
think back in the olden days when, yeah, I mean, hopefully it's changing now. The girls, especially with what the Lionesses are doing in the Euros again.
I'm sorry to anyone who's sorry, just quickly to anyone that's an avid England supporter of football. I'm really sorry when I say I think it's hilarious that the Lionesses come along and trance the shit out of the men's team
Yeah,
and
that,
and start winning straight away.
yeah,
And I think it's hilarious.
yeah,
Sorry to anyone that's an avid England supporter, but I think it's hilarious that the Lionesses do it.
yeah,
I fucking love it. I think it's
yeah.
brilliant. Sorry, go on.
So there was a time when he was, I don't know, maybe 5, 6, and he was at primary school, and there was a football club, and he went to play football, and I got really excited and took him shopping at the weekend and got him a whole Arsenal kit and some little football boots, and he was fully kitted up. But then he went to a couple of training sessions and he didn't like it. And his mum, I was separated from his mum. And so he would say to his mum, I don't know what to say to dad, because he'll be really disappointed in me, because he's bought me all the kit and he's really excited that I'm into football. And, I wasn't at all bothered that he didn't want to play football. That's up
Yeah,
to him,
yeah,
whatever he wants to do. So I don't think ever as a parent I have put pressure on him to do certain things. And school was never for him, really. He was never an academic kid. He was never a kid that got grades. He wasn't chasing grades. It just wasn't him.
mm,
And, he excelled at sport, but that was about it. And then when he left, he was all his mates were going into trades, and he decided to be a plumber, and he's absolutely, he's absolutely smashed it now, and is
yeah.
earning a fortune. So
And is it fair to say you allowed him the freedom and the autonomy, and you trusted that he would find his way regardless of what you felt might be the right thing for him?
yeah, yeah, it's weird. It's a weird one, because there is that expectation, that you do school, you do sixth form, you do
Yeah,
university, you go and get a job.
yeah,
And I did that, and it didn't work necessarily. It wasn't a smooth path. It wasn't, like, I never really I didn't go to university with the feeling I'm going to be a teacher.
mm-hmm,
It was more, I went to university and studied film,
yeah,
and then I went into the film industry for a couple of years, didn't really like it,
yeah,
and then went, oh, okay, maybe I'll think about teaching.
mm-hmm,
And so then I had to go back and do a year's retraining.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, it was never, I never had a definite plan, if you like. It was just like, oh, right, I'll do this now and I'll try this. And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I think that's really important for anyone to have. I don't think we live in a world now where someone goes into a job at 16, 18, and then stays there
No,
for 40,
no.
45 years and gets a carriage clock at the end of it. We that flexibility and that transient nature of the world means we do have to be flexible, but I think that also causes quite a lot of anxiety.
Oh, big time.
I also think that might be why we're in this world of, oh my god, but
Yeah.
I haven't got this consistency, this structure, this pattern.
So can I just read under that first regret, which is, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life of others expected of me, right? So I think we've covered a little bit of that, right?
Hmm.
Now, underneath that, in the same part in that chapter, it's got a part that says it's called products of our environment,
Yeah.
right? And then underneath that is another part that says trappings.
Hmm.
It's quite a powerful word
Yeah.
title. So for me, trappings is, the trappings of fame, the trappings of chasing money, fortune, prestige,
Hmm.
all of that stuff, the quantity stuff,
Hmm.
right? And products of our environment is, a byproduct. I like add a byproduct. I'm a byproduct of my environment. I inherit a certain way of having to do something because of the environment that I'm born into,
Yeah.
possibly. And that's going to preempt and predetermine how I need to live my life just to get by
Hmm.
until I can find a way to do it a different way. If I have the courage, the strength to do so. Now, there's a part before, there's an introduction to this book. I feel like we're gonna have to get in contact with this author, man, and say, look, we've fucking promoted your book here, man. But like, it's really relevant, and I just went with it, because I've been using this in a lot of what I'm doing to help people understand that we need to really realign. If we're not, paying attention to some of these things that have been, look, just because some people that have been at the end of their lives who are dying have communicated and articulated to some woman that this is how I feel about my life, doesn't mean we've all got to go and live like that. But it's quite a insightful piece of work that's been presented, and it's certainly made me think. But I've looked through it all, and I'm like, well, I'm good in that department. I'm good in that department. I'm good in that department. So I feel like I've got everything in line, so that
Yeah.
when I do have my final breath, I'm not going to have these regrets.
Okay.
That's the thing. It's like this book, I think, is so that it's a gift to say, look, you don't have to get to the end of your life and have regrets. You shouldn't live with regret.
Yeah.
It's really important to not live vicariously. Is this a thing? Am I understanding what that means now by
Yeah, I
saying
think
that?
so. Yeah, you're living, or you're being vicariously lived through the expectations of someone else. If your parents are like, right, we didn't get to this point, but we want our child to get to this point.
Yeah,
Like,
helicopter mum and a turbo dad, as
yeah.
I'd call them. Yeah.
Did you? I mean, your dad was a head teacher. Did you
It,
get pressure for you to be or do
no,
certain things or be a certain
I
way?
I never felt any pressure from my parents, mum or dad, to be anything other than happy.
Nice.
They were really beautiful in their teachings. Thank you, senseis. Do you know what I mean? And I've said this before on a previous episode, about coming in and choosing our teachers, the parents, and whether you believe it or not, I believe it
Hmm.
because it really works for me and it really helps me. But they were great. I can't fault them one little bit. There's some things that happened, like all marriages, they're not perfect and whatever. And, things play down a certain way. But the core principles that I received from very early life was, I was set to be, do well. And then things changed within the family dynamic, and I really struggled with that. And then it threw me on a trajectory of a different path. No one put a gun to my head, and the only pressure that came was from me. You know, I used to write. I don't know if I've ever told my dad this, but I used to write Christmas birthday cards, all that kind of stuff. Whenever I used to write stuff, my handwriting on them cards. Fuck me. I was back in, like, I put so much pressure on myself to make sure the spelling was right and, literally get a ruler and make sure everything was lined straight. And, like, it's all written really well, just because I'm putting that pressure on myself. It didn't come from my dad, it came from me. Yeah. So, anyway, yeah.
Because is your brother older than you?
Yeah.
So was there it? So because I haven't got an older, I've only got a younger sibling. So I think, was
Hmm.
there any expectation from the fact that your brother had already done stuff? Was it already
It came from me again.
came from
Came
you?
from me. Yeah.
He didn't put it like, it wasn't like
No.
you've got to be like him.
No, it came from me. I'm living in the shadow of what my head told me was like, I'm not good enough.
Right.
I'm not as good as my
Did you go to the
elders.
same school?
Yeah.
Because I know that my daughter, because she went to, yeah, they both went to the same school, but very much when they were like, oh, you're Casper's sister. It was like, there was she would try and hide it, so she didn't have to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the expectation from my way he'd been at
Uh,
school was very different to how she was.
Me and my bro are very similar in a lot of ways. We're very similar. Um, both incredibly introverted, but we present extroverted. Maybe we're confident,
Hmm.
not didn't used to be. Both of us didn't used to be. This is us becoming strong, empowered men,
Yeah.
through our own paths of doing that. And my brother's a badass, I'm a badass, and we've worked to that, and it's come good. But I remember back in the day, we both got bullied at school.
Right.
My brother won't mind me saying that. We both got bullied at school. We share a lot in common with very similar. So anyway, it's something where no one put that pressure on me. You know, no one said you've got to be this or you've got to get these. You know, I can't recall that happening.
Mm.
The only thing I felt a bit there was an injustice was I went to a school I didn't want to go to.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And it's dog shit.
Mm.
I was like, fucking hell, I don't want to go to this school. There's no chicks at this school, man. No boys' school.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I really didn't want to go. So there's a resentment right there. You know, I was like, literally pushing me. My arms were on the door frame of the school entrance, and they're pushing me in it. You know, it's one of them, metaphorically speaking. But yeah.
But it wasn't your dad's school, was it?
No, he was really good mates with the head.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. If my dad had been the head of the school, I don't know how that would have worked out for me.
No.
I'm not sure that would have been a good thing. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, right. So, I'm just gonna rattle along quickly. Is this right that I'm running with this? Because
Yeah. 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 No, that's interesting.
it's quite a good thing, right?
Mm.
So, moving on to regret two. I wish I hadn't worked so hard.
There you go.
And you said
No
it.
one says, yeah. Oh, I wish I'd done more work.
Yeah, I wish I hadn't worked so hard.
Mm.
Why am I, you know, why? Do you know, I love Richard Ashcroft.
Yeah.
Like, he's underrated, man. Screw all these, like, I'm not going to say who they are, but they've got to come back at the moment and they're on tour and blah, 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 blah. Who gives a what? Sorry. Ooh. Um, what I mean is, look, let's just focus on Richard Ashcroft, right? He's a legend.
Mhm.
He's a freaking legend, man. He's the most underrated artist of our time, in my opinion. Songwriter, sonically, like his voice, his soul.
Mm.
He's got more soul in his little toe than I'm not going to say, but he is a dude.
Mm.
I love him. And that lyric he wrote, we're a slave to money and then we die,
Mm.
right? Boom. Oof. He got us all with that. You know what I mean? He's a freaking he's a freaking rabbi.
Yeah.
Well, he's not, but you know what I mean. He's a modern day hipster. I don't know what he is, but he's otherworldly to me. I love him.
Hmm.
Anyway, big up, Mr. Ashcroft. You're a slave to money and then you die. I wish I hadn't worked so hard.
Yeah.
Right? I wish I hadn't worked so hard. Do you know what's underneath that? The drop down parts to that chapter.
No, gone.
Purpose and intention, and then under that, simplicity. So again,
Purpose. Icky guy. Go back to that.
yes. Thank you for
Fine.
that book. Thank you.
Yeah.
You sent it to me. It's not a human being, it's a book. And not just a book, it's a way of being, it's
Yeah.
a mindset, it's a lifestyle, it's a the essence of life.
Mm.
Yeah, I love it. I'm gonna get right into that. Thank you for that, Ben. You're very kind sending me that. But yeah, purpose and intention. So this is all relative, isn't it, to what we're talking about this episode?
Yeah, because I think, I mean, not to wanting to get overly political, but I just think we spend so long doing meaningless jobs, literally pushing bits of paper around for other people. And so many of us don't look at it as that. And we get so caught up in it. And it's like that becomes the meaning rather than the friendships, the families, the connections, the good stuff,
Mhm.
the drum workshops, referring back to, that thing you did the other day. And it's, you know, what I found really interesting during lockdown was there were certain people that absolutely love lockdown. And I'm not going to be, obviously it was a dreadful time and there were people dying and it was really sad and all of that. But there was like a space to breathe for those people that were just given suddenly time off, or people working at home, or there wasn't that pressure anymore. And for me it was a time where I was like, right, I can draw, I can read, I can walk, I can do all these things. And it was like, this is great. I've suddenly got like, I feel more energized and more alive. And there were other people you could see that could not cope with the fact they weren't working. It was like, what do I do now? The meaning's gone. Like I'm going to have to busy myself with something, and I don't know what that is. And I think there is a richness to life that people miss out on because work becomes everything.
Mm, yeah, absolutely. Again, back to what I was saying, you got a primary and a secondary purpose.
Okay.
I was taught that somewhere along the line, early days when I decided to change my, when I came out of the matrix, was, we've got a
And
primary.
you took the blue pill, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, and it wasn't a Viagra. I was made to do one of them.
Really?
Yeah, have you ever taken a Viagra? Just on a side note.
No, never.
So here's a little story for everyone. Just a quick side story. So I've written an episode around this
Okay.
for uh, um I'm co-writing it with someone
Hmm.
to to attempt. Well, we're writing like a mini series, like a TV series kind of
Hmm.
vibes, like a comedy, I
Hmm.
guess. And the episode's called Wanker of the Week.
Okay.
And there's only certain people who know what this really means. What Wanker of the Week. I mean, it's quite a common thing, maybe within places like the workplace, especially on trade floors, sales floors, places like that. So back in the day, in my formative years, when I was working as a rogue tradesman, salesman, and I was selling um, photocopiers, so unsexy. Big money, man. It's a lot of money in that game. A lot of Bentleys and Porsches being driven by photocopier salesmen. That's a bit strange, isn't it? Do you not think? But anyway, um, but um, they just like cars. Um, and um, yeah, we had Wanker of the Week. Every Monday morning, we'd go into the office and I'd be hanging. It
Hmm.
was back in the day when I was hanging. I put on my conceptual barrier, my mask, which would be, designer shoes, suit, all the quantity stuff and quality because it was all proper clobber.
Hmm.
Chasing the dream. And I'd be in there on a Monday morning. I got Wanker of the Week
Right.
on the Monday morning sales meeting at like 10 a.m. in the morning with all of the team around the table, and I got Wanker of the Week. And what Wanker of the Week is, whoever's done something really fucking stupid the week before, you earn the title Wanker of the Week, and you get nominated. And they all nominated me. I can't remember what it was for. And I got Wanker of the Week. And what I had to do, they threw over a blue tablet and it was a Viagra. And they said, down the hatch, mate. And I had to, you know, swallow a Viagra at 10 o'clock on a Monday morning with a savage hangover. I hadn't had a lot of sleep. Felt pretty rough anyway. and and then I had to give over my car keys, which I had this Mercedes on lease at the time, and they trade them for a little noddy car. It's like a little smart car, little white car, which has Wanker of the Week written all over it.
Amazing.
And I had to drive that for a week. And, I won't go into what happened that day, but it was torturous.
Yes.
And they made me, I earned it and they made me fight for it,
Hmm.
literally. It was exasperating. Do not ever Right. Do not ever take a Viagra unless you absolutely need to. It's horrendous. I will never
Okay.
take one again. Thank God I don't need to. blue pill. Anyway, what was you saying blue pill for? It came out the Matrix.
You were saying about you'd come out of the Matrix. I don't know
Um,
where
I,
you were going with that.
I came out the Matrix, and I changed my mindset. I can't remember where I've gone now. I've gone back to my formative years,
I
man.
mean, that sounds like proper trauma working in that setting, and that's yeah, that sounds awful. But
It
yeah,
was, mate. Yeah, I've got PTSD. Trust
yeah,
me. Yeah,
yeah.
when you're around that sort of environment, you get it's hardcore. Anyway, so I can't remember where I was going with that, and it doesn't matter. The moment's gone. We can pick it
Hmm.
back up. But you said the blue pill. I took the blue pill. I come out of the madness. And it's not until I changed my mindset that I can't remember. I've lost it. Anyway. Should we go back to purpose and intention on that regret? I wish I hadn't worked so hard, right? So you said it earlier, no one wishes that they worked more.
Mhm.
Okay. So purpose and intention. There is a lot in that, purpose and intention. Okay. So why? Maybe it's the why. Why do you feel you've got to work so hard? Is it to pay bills? Yeah, of course, we all need to pay bills. But, you know, getting back to that quantity thing. And
Mhm.
underneath it, simplicity,
Mm.
you know.
And I mean, again, this is look, looking at the modern world and modern life is. I think we've got many generations, definitely above us, uh, that believe the only way to be is to be working, 24/7.
Mm,
And what's happening with this generation that's then gone through COVID and is growing up now is why. You know,
yeah.
there was a reason that our parents worked really, could work really hard and then could
Uh-huh.
buy a house. I think
Yeah.
my parents bought the house for £30,000.
Yeah.
It's now worth over a million.
300, 300. Oh, really? A million?
Yeah,
Bloody hell.
it's like
Wow.
it.
Wow.
They bought it in the early '80s. And housing has just gone up and up and up. And if you look at, young people now think, what's the point? Like
Mm,
if you're clever as a kid and you're looking at the world now, you're going, right, well, I could work for the rest of my life and I still not be able to afford a house.
uh-huh, uh-huh.
The world's burning, literally. What state is the world actually in terms of how long is it going to exist? We're constantly fed this doom mongering about, you know, we're just gonna the seas are gonna rise and the forests are gonna burn. And so
Mm,
I don't mean to play that down and saying calling it doom mongering. It's reality. With
mm,
what we've done to the planet, we've absolutely messed it up.
yeah.
So you've got kids growing up now into this, like, this feels really futile. It feels really pointless. Like,
Mm,
why should we be working all the time? Because what's going to happen tomorrow? The sea's going to rise, and
yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't afford a house. What? Why don't I just go and enjoy myself?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. 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 Totally get that. Totally. And in a way, my mindset, I've just remembered where I
Mm,
lost my thread. And in a way, this is my whole point, what I was saying. In a way, the mindset I had before I took the blue pill
hmm
and come out of the Matrix, not the Viagra, right? Before I came out, my formative years, I was taught about primary and secondary purpose. I was taught somewhere along the way when I took the blue pill, come out of the Matrix and woke the fuck up. Why am I living my life like this? It's not serving me. I'm chasing what I think is my primary purpose, which is, maybe all the stuff in this book, which is simplicity, purpose, and intention, you know, all the good stuff, right? And just, it's got to be in line. Where am I at with that? Now, I was fed a message, and it is a very consumeristic, it's social programming, I believe, for us to, maybe we're meant to be in debt. Maybe we're meant to be, like Richard Ashcroft so brilliantly put, we're slaves to money and then we die. Maybe that's what is fed to us, keeps us sort of, in a certain vibration, right? Where we don't have a lot of hope and we have to act out. and medicate ourselves to get by. It's the
Mm.
only hope we've got. Now, that was my experience. I chased all of the trappings of life. I was going for the fame, glory, the prestige, the money, the women, the fucking, all of the cool shit, all the sparkly, shiny stuff that I thought I was meant to go for. I went for that big time, and it burnt me out. It really burnt me out. And then when I realigned my principles, the fundamental principles to my life, the ikigai. Um, if anyone's not sure, it's in another episode. Ben was talking us through it. Look it up. It's a Japanese essence for being. It's like
Mm.
it's the true nature of being in their culture.
Mm.
And the true nature of my being, my truth, is absolutely. I've realigned it, so I'm not chasing my primary. My secondary thing is now become my primary. My primary back in the day is now my secondary. If that makes
Mm.
sense. So it's like simplicity, purpose, and intention. Um, I've woken up to it, man. It's like, but back in the day, I definitely felt like what you just said. What's the point?
Mm.
Fucking point. I might as well just get on it. And I'm subscribed to just living really fast in the fast lane. And if I burn out, I burn out. Don't matter. The world's going to end anyway.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? So the planet's not going to go anywhere. Planet, once it fucks all us lot off of the, whether it's AI beats us to, whether AI fucking boots us off the planet, or Mother Earth boots us off the planet, she'll do fine. She'll
Mm.
reset. She'll reset. The minute we're gone and we stop fucking it up, she'll just start to, it's already proven. She'll start to sort herself out. No problem. Right. So the planet's not the problem. Like planet, yeah, we're fucking it. And it's our habitat, it's our environment. We can't live in the way that we're living.
Mm.
We've got to get our fucking things realigned, people. Now, people listening might not be the sort of people that we need to, spread this message to. Um, Maybe, I don't know, but there's a lot of people out there that just are still, in the matrix, medicating, and they can't see the bigger picture. I couldn't see the bigger picture. I know this stuff's going on, but fuck it. Is that living vicariously as well? I don't know. I still don't really can't get my head around this vicariously. So the way my brain works is I need to sort of be familiar with the word,
Yeah, yeah.
and I boldly pick this word, and I feel like we're riffing it. And anyone listening, if, join us at the velvetrevolutionpod.com. Do send us an essay, send us a manifesto, man. I don't care. And we'll read some of it, because help us out, people. But
Vicarious revolution, as we're going to rename it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm just going to quickly spin through the last three, right? So regret free. I wish I'd had the courage to express my feelings.
Oh, there we
Oh,
go.
right. I wish I'd had the courage to express my feelings to some little old lady or little old man, or it might have been a younger person who's lying there. Maybe I'm just imagining this is some of the discussions this person had.
Hmm.
Um, and these things came up that someone had articulated. I wish I'd had the courage to express my feelings,
Yeah.
right? And then under it, the other parts are no guilt. And then under that, another part is gifts in disguise. Gifts. No, I'm always saying it on air. We're always talking about it. Is it an inconvenience? Is your life and everything that happens in it an inconvenience? A big monstrosity, astronomical, horse-sized turd of an inconvenience? or are they gifts in disguise? So someone else is obviously, you know, presenting maybe a similar thing to what we talk about.
Mm.
Who knows? I haven't read the book. I want to go and read it actually. Maybe some of you will. But I wish I'd had the courage to express my feelings. No guilt. Just them two statements right there. I wish I'd had the courage to express my feelings. Now I'm glad. I'm not going to live with that one. I'm glad I found the courage to find a way to express my feelings. No
Mm.
guilt. No guilt. There was guilt. There was a lot of guilt. I held on to a lot of guilt that certain things, the narrative of the story that once played out in my life, I held a lot of guilt to some of the stuff, a lot of the stuff, like it was my fault. Like I held guilt of things that I had no reason to have guilt for.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a heavy burden that I'm carrying around. And I've dropped that guilt. I've let it go. It's gone. I don't have that burden anymore. That's a beautiful thing. It's very liberating. Right. So I keep going.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then number 4, I wish I'd stayed in touch with my friends. Oh, oof, 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 oof. It's what I checked in with.
Yeah.
Now, this guy that's gone missing in action, I'm starting to feel now that I just said about guilt. Now, there is some relevance to that one. I do feel there's some guilt there.
Mm.
And it will be a regret. I'm not going to live with regret. It's not wise to do that, as this book so brilliantly probably puts. But there is some there that if this person has struggled in any way, it's not my fault. They've got to have the. This is everyone listening, right? People, what we've got to understand, right, is it's accountability. Everything we're talking about is accountability. Every episode, every single thing we talk about on here is about accountability.
Mhm.
The Velvet Revolution, we've set out to just have a little bit of a giggle and a grin and get a little bit deep over the meaning of life or some shit like that. I don't know fucking whether we've stayed on target with our mission, but I believe we have. Well, I know we have, right? And we're doing it. And it's accountability. Like, where am I at with all this? I'm part of that. Like, where am I at? Like, you listening, where are you at? Where are we at? Are we taking accountability for the things that are happening in our lives? Is everything in my life an inconvenience?
Mm.
Is my perception deluded into thinking that things are happening to me and I'm a victim of my life and I'm powerless and there's a lot of hopelessness and frustration and depression and, confusion? Or do I flip the narrative, take accountability and step into my fucking power and own it and start to work on some things to tweak and recalibrate and redirect my life and my experience so that I have a more skillful, healthy, fruitful outcome.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, the bit you were just referring to in terms of, I wish I'd stayed in contact with my friends. It's those connections. I think we let things go. We let things slide. We don't talk about how we feel or how someone's made us feel or
Mm,
and like I think it's really pertinent with the way synchronicity again, isn't it? The way what you checked in with. It's just like, actually, why am I thinking about that person? Do I need to reach out to them? Do I need to connect? Do I need to say to them, look, sorry it's been X amount of time, but this is how you made me feel at this point, and this is where I'm at now, and where are you at? And
yeah.
there was, there was a shared experience. There was a shared time that you had with that person, and I think that's really, really important that we have the energy and the skills and the power, as you said, to keep those connections. Because so often we shrink, everything gets smaller, our worlds get smaller and smaller and smaller as we get older,
Mhm.
and we sort of shed people, as this person doesn't serve me anymore. Well, it's not. I don't think it's always about service. What it's about what connection you have with that person,
Mm,
and
yeah,
cultivating that, because romantic relationships, we tend to be biased towards those. And the moment we get a girlfriend or a boyfriend, it's like that's it. Everyone else is cut out.
yeah,
Why don't we put that same energy into friendships?
yeah.
Why is it like, oh, actually, I haven't reached out to this person for
Mm,
a couple of weeks or a couple of months, but why haven't I picked up the phone and told them, actually, I've really missed you. It's been, really missed having a chat with you. Can we come and connect and meet up? And as men, we never say I love you to other men. We never say like, oh, I love you, brother. That's that. We don't reach out with that kind of language.
Ben, I love you.
I love you too, Dave.
Beautiful. There you go. Um, so yeah, go on, continue.
So again, it's expectation, it's context, it's this is how we should live our lives. We should build a family. We should have our house. We should have our you know our Christmas card with us all wearing the same pajamas on. Is an expectation. I should go to work every day to fund this life that.
Mm,
And actually, the moment we step outside of that, moment we say, actually, I don't need a relationship at this moment in my life.
mm,
What do you get hit with by most people? Oh, have you met anyone yet? Or how's your love life? Or,
mhm,
you know, or, when are you going to have kids? Or when are you going to get married? Or, not, it's
mm,
all of those expectations, because that's how society works, and that's how we live.
mhm.
So, yeah, I think I've gone off a little bit off piste. But I think that idea of cultivating and maintaining friendships and relationships that aren't romantic, I think is really important.
Yeah. I really needed to hear this, Ben. Thank you. Because where I'm at the moment is I live a long, 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 long way away from a lot of people. And this is one of the things I've always struggled with. I came here 5 years ago. I moved away from everything I'd ever known. You know,
Mm,
my dad's like 2 hour drive away from where he used to live. My mum's literally just up, you know, in the next town. People like yourself, I've got so many people that I love, I'm gonna say it. I love all of everyone I love everyone on the planet. I'm always saying that, I do realize that I have a lot of love in my heart for everything and everyone. It's really important that we feel like that towards people. It's really, really important. And if everyone could feel like that, wow, it'd be a different world. And yeah, I've come away I came here for a reason, I've come here to find myself, and to finish writing my book and to kickstart a lot of stuff, projects, because I just wanted that space and be in true creativity and artist. It's like that whole, I'm gonna go into exile and, it's that whole exile of an artist,
mm,
I'm gonna go and remove myself and live on the moon for for 10 years and write a bestseller, and then, and that's gonna be part of my story and my legend, and it's all of that, isn't it? It's
yeah,
that kind of romance of the art. It's
yeah,
that's what I've been living, if I'm
yeah,
honest, but I've really struggled with, I know people here and I've made connections. There's people I love here as well, it's a beautiful place, and if fill me with sadness to leave, and I feel like I'll always have a place I can call home here. It feels like home, which is a
mhm,
beautiful thing to feel like that. But it doesn't detract away from the fact that there's a lot of people that I love that aren't near here, that I can't see, and I want to see them in person.
yeah,
Don't want to just be doing a video call or a text. It bugs me that texting is such a thing with a lot of people. Sorry to anyone that's really into the texting with me, but it bugs me because, emojis aren't the same as real emotion and being in front of someone. Are we living our lives vicariously through emojis? You could
Mhm.
say. Do you think that's a thing? I think it.
Yeah, yeah, I think we've developed different language,
Yeah.
sort of visual and words and shorthand and
Yeah. Emoji with the hands out as if like, oh, I'm gonna hug you,
yeah.
emoji or whatever it is. I don't want don't want to do that. I want a proper hug. Thank you
Mm,
very much. And so my bro, my beloved bro, I miss you, bro, so much. And I love my bro. He
mhm,
knows that, and he feels the same about me. And like, God, I mean, he's in Australasia. He's on the other side of the planet, and I'm like, fucking hell. It's really hard. And I can't even imagine what it's like for him to be there. But he's got his family. He's got a brilliant life. Amazing. He's doing great. But yeah, it's really when you really sit and think about it and talk about it, the reality is what you're saying is really profound. What you said, I really, really like it. And hopefully, it's some people, even if there's one person, can walk away from listening to what we're listening to and maybe pick up the phone today.
mm,
Don't send the emojis. Pick them up and arrange to go and see them, or just surprise them. Go and
mm,
drive to them, and no matter how far they are, and go and knock on their door and say, "Hey, man, I love you. Let's hug and let's spend some time together." It's a really beautiful thing what you said, and it's really poignant, Ben, at a time when I'm really struggling with it.
yeah,
I am.
mhm.
And anyone knows me knows I have been. It just won't go away. So what do I do with that? Is that going to be one of my regrets at the end of my life? I'm like, I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. Now I stay in touch with all my friends, and there's some that have drifted, but I'm starting to draw them back in. But maybe it should be, I wish I'd stayed close physically with my friends,
Mm.
and actually seen them in person.
I think, I mean, like you said though, it's about the emojis, is we will send a text. How often do you actually just call someone up? Like, you're pretty good at doing that,
I
actually.
do. I'm a
You
caller. I'm a
Yeah,
caller.
you'll just call me and it'll be like, "Oh, I've missed a call," rather than send a text. But I think about that with some of my friends. It's like they don't just call, which is what we used to do. It's like,
Mm.
"I'm gonna send you a text." Actually, why don't you just call them? Like, it's an evening, I've got nothing to do. I'm just gonna call up this guy I haven't spoken to for a
Mm,
couple of weeks and check he's okay.
yeah.
And it's almost like we're fearful of spending that time. I know I am. I know at sometimes I can be like, "Oh, just want my own space. I want my own time."
Yeah, I think there's also I notice in a lot of the young mavericks that I work with, they're crippled with anxiety over they've got social anxiety, so they live their lives via comms. So
Mm,
whether that's social platforms or messaging platforms, they're really debilitated with it. Like huge percentage. That's
mm,
that's my data. That's my I am actually writing a book. My second book is going to be all around this sort of stuff. It's going to be my version of pretty much what we're talking about. And I
mhm.
know we definitely got to work on one as well, haven't we? But like, um, it's definitely something and it wouldn't be the first book talking about this kind of stuff. It's evident, and I am on the front line with it. I see it. You are too. Like people have social anxiety. It's not just a young lot. You know, are you someone that just sends messages? It's a lot easier in our busy lives and we've got the technology just to send a message. Or are you someone that just picks up the phone and does a phone call?
I remember
I
speaking
want
to
to hear your voice.
yeah,
The second to phone calls is voice notes.
yeah, which I hate, and I'm not very good at them. I used to yeah, I used to have a friend that would leave, like, 10-minute voice notes. I'd be like,
Mm.
I haven't got time to listen to
I just sent someone one that's 13 minutes.
that. I found out that you could
Uh,
speed them up, can't you? So you just
can
make them
you?
sound yeah, you make them sound like the chipmunks. Yeah, yeah, and you can hear it all, but
I didn't know
half the
that.
time. Yeah, yeah, you can do it on
Yeah.
times too. But I remember speaking to a mate a couple of months ago, and it's a mate from university that we lost touch for a good decade, and we got back in touch. And he's just a lovely, lovely guy. Um, and he's older than me, and it just goes to show, once we're having this conversation about keeping in touch and being in contact, and he was like, "Well, I just presume no one wants to talk to me."
That's what comes up for the young mavericks. They've
Yeah,
got they're doing other people's thinking for them.
yeah,
They're projecting what they think other people think of them. Like, oh, but they don't want to hear from me. They
yeah,
don't, they're too busy. They're busy. They're not going to want to talk
yeah.
to me if I call them or go and see them.
So
It's
this
like,
is
how the
coming,
fuck do you know that? They'd be
yeah,
fucking well chuffed.
but it just shows that the thinking isn't that different. This is from a guy that's in his mid 50s,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
and he's still thinking that actually maybe people don't want to be contacted by him, or that they don't want to hang out with him. And
yeah.
I couldn't be further from the truth. For me, it'll be me being crap at not
Mm,
calling or sending a message. But when we do spend time together, it's great. I love hanging out with him. But it's having those thoughts, isn't it? And then actually vocalizing it. And now I know that I
yeah.
did make a concerted effort to just, even if it is just a text, just say, look, been thinking about you. Be lovely to
Mm.
catch up at some point.
Well, pre-tech, I can't think of a time when I was crippled with social anxiety enough to not go and see someone. I'd do it anyway. But obviously, I used to be heavily medicated a lot of times, so I'd probably, for a lot of people that I work with,
Oh no, Dave's here again.
yeah, yeah,
Don't answer the door.
yeah, throwing stones at the window. I remember my mate Gemma. Gemma, if you're listening, you know what I'm talking about. Her brother Simon. He hated me for fucking years. It all came good though. He loves me now. He knew that I was a good guy. He just didn't know it because he thought I was a burglar. I think he thought I was a burglar. I climbed over the fence to their house to try and get into the house. I used to go to Gemma's house a lot. Um, and she's a dear friend. She is a dear friend still. That's who I just sent a 30-minute voice note to. And and um and yeah, he caught me. And as I was fleeing the house, I was trying to get in the house. I think she was there. I'm not sure, but I don't know. I was off my nut, and I remember coming back over the fence to get out of off the property, and I fell over and made a right racket. And then he tried to grab me, and it was just, oh dear. That's how we used to do it back in the days. You just go and knock on doors, man.
Yeah,
Go and see people.
yeah, yeah.
Let me just quickly.
I
Right,
got one
so
more.
I wish I'd stayed in touch with my friends. True friends, allow yourself. So what we're talking about, allow yourself.
Mm,
Allow yourself. You know, what you waiting for? Go
yeah.
and do it. Allow yourself and true friends. Allow yourself true friends. Right, okay. So the last one, I wish I'd had let myself be happier.
Mm.
I wish I'd let myself be happier. Wow. Such a simple premise. And had let myself. It's not saying, I wish other people would let me be happier. It's, I wish I'd let myself be happier. Now, I'm not going to live with that regret. And then underneath, it says, happiness is now.
Hmm.
What you waiting for, people? Right? I was one of them people that was like, oh, it'll just land on my lap. I'll figure it out. Something will just come up. She'll fix me. That'll fix me. If only I can just get to there, then I'll be happy. Yeah. If I get that amount of money, then I'll be happy.
Hmm.
If I get that car, I'll be happy. I just need to go on that holiday, I'll be happy. Happiness is now, right here, right now, in this moment. Again, perspective. Is it an inconvenience? Are you a victim, or are you going to allow yourself to be fucking happy? Right? A matter of perspective underneath.
Yeah, yeah.
There we go. Underneath, changing times. I don't know what these mean. You've got to read the book. Changing times, darkness and dawn.
Mm.
Mm.
Shadow work.
Underneath, no regrets, and then right at the bottom, last thing, last part, smile and know. Now, what that means to me, smile and know, and I haven't read the book. I really feel like I'm going to order this book, and we'll put a link in to this book. And I'm definitely going to get in touch with the author and say, heads up.
We've done a whole episode on your book.
Yeah. We don't need any money. We're not seeking a payment.
What's
We're
the book called?
doing it for the love of it. It's called the top five regrets of the dying. It's an international bestseller. It's called The Top Five Regrets of the Dying: A Life Transformed by the Dearly Departing by Bronnie Ware. Bronnieware. Bronnie Ware. Okay, so we'll put a link in. But what smile and know means to me is I feel like if you was to, let's just say you went through that list. I'm not going to go through it again. But if you were to go through that list and do a little tick box exercise of how many you feel are in line with your own, where are we at with it? Right, if I was to do an inventory of this book, I'm quite confident that the last part I'd really relate to.
Yeah.
It would correlate. All the last two bits, no regrets and smile and know. Because if you've got no regrets, you've got this inner glow, and it is a knowing. It's not a belief. It's not a I hope. It's not a oh, I hope I can get to a place where I've got no regrets and I can smile and have that inner glow, that inner peace. Smile and know means to me inner peace, contentment, right? And I feel that. I know it. Regardless of what I was talking about, feeling far away from other people that I love and all of that, it's okay. You know, wherever I go in life, I travel a lot. Wherever I go, I've got that glow in me. I've got that home sense in me. And yeah, I can feel lonely sometimes. I can feel separate from sometimes. I can feel estranged and, a long way away from things sometimes. But it's okay because I've got this inner glow, this inner peace. And it comes with not having any regrets, relinquished of guilt. You might have a little bit of regret, you might have a little bit of guilt, whatever, but it's not all encompassing. It's not
It's not
debilitating.
yeah, not debilitating. I also
And
think it's
yeah,
important that you've recognised it. The fact
absolutely.
is if you had guilt, shame, regret, is when you don't realise them until it's too late. And
I've
that
worked through,
yeah,
yeah.
and I think that's the really important thing, is you've done the work around them. It might not be that you've resolved them all, but you're doing the work.
I'm working on it, yeah,
Yeah,
day at a
yeah.
time. But I've done a substantial amount of, early recovery. I'm going to use that word. Back in the, when I took the blue pill, not the Viagra, and I came out of the Matrix. Maybe it was like a big fat erection. Finding your truth,
Nemo.
finding your truth. This is all about truth. Everything we're talking about is about what's your truth, people. Have you found it? Are you in line with your true nature of being? Right. And I feel like there is an inventory to be done. We need to take stock. Where am I at with this? Is it relevant? Is it
Boom.
applicable? I'm pretty confident that everything we talk about here is to some degree got in relation to, well, so I still relate to it. I'm not, I've not finished. I haven't done the work. I haven't finished the work. I practice every day, doing
Mhm.
to the best of my ability, being the best human I can be. Um, and um, it's a lifestyle change. It's a daily
Practice.
practice. Yeah.
And then it's like I like that word in terms of, yeah, it's a practice because we're never going to get it right. It's never going to be perfect. So we've got to be practicing every day to make sure that we're doing the best we can.
Mm. And that's all we can do. So it
Yeah.
comes down to accountability of just acknowledging that. And we always say this on here, you know, that's all we can do. The revolution of our hearts, the revolution of the world would come, will come, is coming when we apply that basic principle of just being the best version of myself
Mhm.
and starting with me and then going outwardly. So on that note, I feel like that's a good place to end it. Do you think? I don't know.
Yeah, no, no, it feels like a natural ending to me. That was really nice.
Cool. I didn't know where that was going to go and how we were going to do that, but we've done it
Yeah,
to the best of our ability.
to the best of our yeah, I'm not sure, yeah, that we've absolutely nailed what Vicarious is, but I think we've thought about how we live our lives, which I think is really important as ever, and,
It's just a word, man.
it's just a
It's
word.
just a freaking word. And I feel like what we've discussed has more meaning to it than just some poxy word
Yeah,
that someone's made up.
yeah,
And the meaning that's associated with that could be many things that we haven't covered.
yeah.
But hey ho, doesn't matter.
Be accountable, folks. Be accountable.
Yeah, live your truth.
Mm.
Live
And
your
watch
truth.
The Secret Life of Ultimately if you haven't. That'll make it all clear.
It's a great film, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Right on. Okay, so Mr. Rice, until next time, try not to gobble up. Don't go riding a bike. Don't go riding a bike. Don't go on a space hopper.
Space Opera's out, yeah. I mean, I hadn't made the connection between bikes. I have yeah, until this conversation, so that's very
Yeah.
useful.
Don't
Um,
be going on a seesaw. Don't be bouncing around on a space hopper pogo stick
any 80s bouncing toy that is
because
available,
your bottom is going to consume it.
yeah, just stick to the salt baths and all forms of natural healing.
Oh, my days. All right, man. Take care.
And you, my friend.
And I'll see you on the next one.
See you on the next one.
All right. Laters.